back to Minecraft. It has been a while, but we are back at it again. Let's see. I don't even remember what I did last time. I remember we had to fix the water feature because a creeper decided to blow it up. There's a skeleton in it, so apparently it's like some bird bath for mobs or something. Yeah, so I've been really thinking about this upstairs. I'm like, I need to do something with it. Because this, I don't know, I don't like it. But I feel like if I actually added like a whole new layer, that I just don't think it would look that good. I need to fix that. It's just so many things that need to be fixed. It's like I'm decently okay with the downstairs of my house, but the upstairs I'm just like, it's a nightmare. Oh yeah, I'm still working on the bricks, and then yeah, I've ran out of lava buckets, which you would think the lava would last a lot longer than it did, but it did not. Okay, oh, several of these have bricks. What about you? Oh, there's a creeper right outside. No, thank you. Actually, let's do. Okay, yeah, just make as many of those as I can. Okay, that can go back. So we have 18. Oh. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Hello, Weeba. Welcome back. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. I don't know how to feel about being back in Minecraft, because Minecraft was like never my it was never my intention to actually play Minecraft on the server, but it just kind of ended up happening. I actually have no idea what I'm gonna do. I'm like, I came in here with not a plan, not a one. So I'm like, I don't even know. I I kind of actually want to start getting more animals because I have one cow and two pigs and a donkey named Jean-Luc Picard. So, like, what am I going to do? I don't know. I've really been into the whole farming thing lately, so I'm like, maybe I need more animals. Maybe I need more crops. Also, there's a creeper somewhere back here. Ron, would you stop? She's a bad, bad bean. Yes, you're a bad, bad bean. Yes. Yes. This is bad, bad bean. She's really very sweet, but she's just very loud. Oh gosh, for a second I thought one was going to blow up behind me. Okay. I also need to figure out, like, what more to do over here. Who knows? I really can't tell if I like this house or not. I think because of all the stupid hardships that have gone into it, I'm kind of biased against it. Like, it's not a bad house by any means, but it's just... I have too many bad memories here. Hi, chickens! How you doing? Still good? Still alive? Yep. My chickens, who I have not done anything for, like, ever. Yeah, we finished that. I do want to build a bridge across here. Like, that would be a good thing, because I keep falling off. I really, like, I don't know. I think I'm just mad at the house because it's been such pain. But it's like, it's not bad. I've certainly built worse. Huh. Okay, well. Don't mind me crunching. I'm just finishing a mint. Yeah, we had our company Christmas party today, and we went to Olive Garden. And my pasta was so good, but it's like such a heavy dish, because I got the tortellini. And it's like pasta filled with cheese, topped with cheese sauce, and then with shredded cheese on top. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm lactose intolerant, so I'm like, I'm going to be in pain. It's going to be interesting. I don't know, like, of all the people to, like, do things like that to themselves, it seems like lactose intolerant people are more likely to eat what hurts them. Yes, yes, I'm lactose intolerant. Oh, but seriously though, like every lactose intolerant person I know, if they're like given the opportunity to have like ice cream or something, I most of them don't question like, oh, is this gonna hurt me later? They're just like, yeah, sure, I'll have some. And then when they're like in pain later, they just like say worth it. Better make it a double. As my father says, go big or go home, and he's lactose intolerant too. I think he actually started saying that really whenever he ended up, I think he drank a milkshake or something. And we're like, are you sure you don't want a small? He's like, if it's gonna hurt me, I might as well go like all the way. What are you growling at? Andromeda. Mia? Okay, y'all are growling and we're alone in the house, so now I'm concerned. What's your deal, Cockatiel? Who are you growling at? What are you growling at? You're concerning Mom. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what their deal is. It's absolutely fantastic, but I just anticipate not having a good time later. Which, like I said, I definitely fall into the group of worth it. I'm like, it's fine, it'll be worth it. Until later when I'm just like, nope, it wasn't. For now, though, it is. Although it's like early enough in the day that I'm like, I don't think, because most of the time it's if I fall asleep after having eaten like a lot of dairy. But I should be good. Life's just interesting when you have allergies. Because I'm also allergic to cinnamon. Yeah, try explaining that one at Christmas time. And everyone keeps wanting to give me, like, baked goods, and I'm like... Eventually, I do get tired of having to ask people, is there cinnamon? Is there cinnamon? I'm allergic to cinnamon and pecans. So I have to ask a lot. Like, is there cinnamon? Is there pecans? I'm like, when do I get to stop asking this question? I don't know why I'm collecting mushrooms. I literally just don't even know what I'm doing. What am I doing with my life? Complaining about being lactose intolerant. And then it's funny because I think, what is it? Cottage Living in The Sims 4 actually included a trait called lactose intolerant. And I'm like, why would anyone voluntarily pick that as a trait for their sim? Like, you only get, like, 3 defining traits, and one of the defining traits of your life is you can't process dairy. Like, okay. Like, most people spend their life trying to ignore that fact. Yeah, and it's, everyone at work wants to, like, make homemade, like, baked goods, and I'm just like... And then all of a sudden they bring it in for everyone. So they'll bring in, like, these covered trays and whatnot, and they're like, oh, hey, everyone have some. And they're like, oh, wait, it has cinnamon. She can't have any. I'm like, thanks. Like, I didn't already know that, but way to rub it in. It's like the story of my life. And then my husband feels so bad. He's like, babe, like... I wish I had said something, because, like, his coworkers and stuff, their wives will make things, and he's just like, oh, I forgot to tell them, and I'm like, it's fine, I don't need dessert. Like, oh. Like, dinner parties are the worst. Because it's like, at some point you just feel awkward having to ask people, especially, like, if you don't know them very well. It's like buffets and stuff, or, like, potlucks. I'm like, it's not worth it to ask. I'm like, I'll just skip the dessert. Okay, how does one make a bridge? I'll figure this out. Do 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 do. Okay, I think I want it like right. You have a super long bridge. Um, let's. During this time of year, it's very hard to find them, but there are treats that do not have cinnamon. And then, bless her heart, one of my husband's coworkers' wives, who she and I are actually like good friends now. She actually specifically made all of her Christmas treats without cinnamon. She's like, I went to the store and I found allspice, and she's like, I was using that. I'm like, bless your kind soul. Like, I can eat this now. One of my sisters attempts to, although sometimes she's like, oh crap, I forgot. Like, seriously, I almost cried because she knows all of my allergies, and so I'm so used to just being like, oh no, like, I don't need any of whatever it is. And so she got really excited and she was like, oh my gosh, she's like, I switched. She's like, I didn't make pecans this year. I didn't make candied pecans. I made candied almonds. So she's like, you can have those, right? I was like, yes, I can. And then she's like, oh, and then I made these, oh gosh, what were they? So she even put, instead of cinnamon on the candied almonds, she did allspice. And she's like, I made it so you can eat it. I'm like, I love you so much. Like, it makes me so happy. I'm like, and I haven't been allergic to these things like my entire life. It started I want to say my like freshman year of high school. Like, oh my gosh. I'm like, you guys care so much. You actually aren't trying to kill me. Although, I think the worst my cinnamon allergy ever was, we volunteered at a soup kitchen, like my family and I, and we were making, they were making French toast and they were sprinkling cinnamon on the top of it, and I walked in and I started breathing, and it just like immediately got to me. I was just like, like I couldn't breathe very well. I was like, and they're like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Oh, I'll be fine." And I'm just like, "Oh gosh, like I'm gonna end up putting myself in the hospital." I'm like, "Let's not do that again." Like, Rose, be a little smarter about your allergy. And I think the part that does suck the most is that, like, I remember what they taste like. I remember being able to eat tasty things. Not so much anymore, but I'm like, cinnamon rolls. I used to love cinnamon rolls. And, I'm like, of course I remember the taste of cinnamon rolls. They're delicious. So my husband's like, oh, dang, like I wanted cinnamon rolls. I'm like, yeah, me too. Like I just can't eat them. He tries to be a trooper about it, but sometimes I'm just like I'm gonna be salty because I can't eat the things that I want. Oh gosh, no, that's not what we like. No, okay. So it's gonna be not this one, but this one. Okay. I, yes. Okay, and then I just put these on the side, probably. Okay, so for now we're just gonna go up. Yeah, I think that's the worst part, is just remembering that things are delicious. I just can't have them. Well, like, yeah, it sucks. It sucks living with the memory of delicious food. Because my favorite ice cream was butter pecan ice cream. My, my one of my favorite breakfast foods was cinnamon rolls. Like trying to think of other things. I loved pecan pie. Oh, pecan pie is so good. But it's just like all the things I just can't have anymore. I'm like, oh, sad day for Rose. But I'm so used to it now. It's just like meh. And then it's just like when people ask about it, I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, that old thing. Okay, I have seen a design for a bridge at one point, and I'm going to be like following that. Yes. Like, remember. Dig deep into your brain. Yeah. Yeah, it's not very fun, but like I said, I've just kind of learned to embrace it. I'm like, oh yeah. I'm like, there's nothing I can do about it, and I'm hoping that the older I get, the more it'll just kind of like fade. Cause, you know, I wasn't allergic to it when I was a kid, so I'm like, maybe eventually it'll just go away. It's all I can really hope for. But I'm really hoping for it. Because it's like, yeah, I miss good food. Like, and it's mostly just baked goods, but... And then it's like all of my baking, I've switched everything, so everything has allspice. And my husband likes to complain sometimes. Because I'm like, oh, hey, like, I made cinnamon rolls. He goes, you mean allspice rolls? I'm like, you know what? Dang it. I'm like, give me what little satisfaction I can have. Like, you leave me and my allspice rolls alone. Okay, how? Ooh. That's what I do. I add allspice, so I can eat them, but they taste almost exactly like cinnamon rolls. Okay, so I need 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I need 10 more. I greatly I misjudged that. So yeah, if I want like cinnamon rolls or apple pie is another one, and almost anything that's apple flavor I've noticed has cinnamon. So I just have to be very selective on like what I make, what I buy. Did I seriously go through all of that? I did. Oh my gosh. What all did I make? Whatever it was just completely ate up my oak. Okay, trap. That's why it takes so many. Okay, where? There it is. Yeah, apples and cinnamon. But the caveat is if you have caramel apple, it normally, like 9 times out of 10, will not have cinnamon. But then again, I have to read the labels anyway. And then we got a thing of chocolates from some friends. And now I have to read the ingredients because a lot of the time, like, if it's like any sort of like cluster or anything, it will usually have pecans in it. So I'm like, oh, gotta read the label. And then I also have my husband doing it. He's like, babe, is this? He's like, I checked the label and it didn't have anything, but you can check it again if you want. Like he's so sweet sometimes. Although other times he's kind of a jerk because he's like, dang it, I want cinnamon rolls. I'm like, I'm like, why would you eat those in front of me? But then again, I can't expect him to just not have them for the rest of his life. It's not fair because he's not allergic. It's just me. It's my cross to bear. Do 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 do. There. Let's see. Come on. I swear if this thing gets blown up too, I'm gonna be so angry. No, why are you opening the wrong way? It's just because of the stupid angle I'm at. Do I need to build it out again? Ooh! Oh, no, 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 no. You know what? No, we're not doing this. You know... Ow! Gosh, I forget, they travel in groups. Almost every time I come across zombies, they're like in a group of 3. Okay, I'm just gonna run back in and go to sleep. Whoop. I'm bougie, I now have a double bed. My stepmom just got to Arizona and she's like, it's 71 degrees! I'm like, fantastic! It's like 23 degrees here. Like, I don't want to hear it. Normally I like the cold, but it has been like a bitter cold this year. It's gonna be a hard, hard winter. Gotta check behind me for any creepers. Okay, okay, come on, come on. Work with me. There we go. Okay, now just destroy all this dirt. Ow. Oh, that always happens. It's times like this where I kind of miss the physics in other games, because if I was playing, like... Oh gosh, which one is it? Staxel. If I was playing Staxel, if I hit the blocks, it's like if I cleared this row and it was too deep, all of the other blocks would fall too. Like, yeah, because, you know, physics. So it's like, if I took out this row would drop, because they're not holding on to anything, because it makes sense. So I'm very curious, out of all the games I played, which ones everyone liked. Oh my gosh. That's dramatic. That is some dramatic weather. 14 degrees. I mean, here at night it gets below freezing, but like, dang. I think the lowest it's gotten in the mornings is like, I think it's been like 19 or something. Like, I don't know, just days are strange. I don't know. Weather's weird. Like, I don't know of anywhere who actually likes their weather. 'Cause, like, in the Southwest, you just get, you know, you get super, super hot summer days. The nights get kind of cool-ish. Okay. I also hate the way slabs work in this game. They're just like, oh, you want to put something there? Nah. Fine. Winters are just, like, bitter cold. And it's a dry cold. It's not like, oh, it's snowing. No, it's just, oh, it's cold. Straight up cold, like, all the time. Why? What? Oh my gosh. No. No, what are we doing? We are learning Rose is not a builder. It's not bad. It could be better. Well, it works for a bridge. Prognostic. I was not expecting to like it as much as I did. I was kind of worried because I'm not much for, like, horror games. I was like, I'm just gonna be scared, like, I'm not gonna want to play it too much, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to keep playing it. I enjoyed the heck out of that game. I'm actually kind of salty it didn't win today. Stupid coin toss! And like the whole time, I'm like, I did the coin toss. I'm like, this is how honest of a person I am. I totally could have lied. I completely could have lied and just been like, oh, hey, look, this is what it is. But no, I'm like, yay, Minecraft won. And I can't exactly pinpoint the reason I'm so, like, kind of bored yet disillusioned with Minecraft. I don't know. Like, I just feel like there's other games that I just want to be playing more. Yeah, I'm just like... And then Disnerd over there just, like, she downvoted my amendment rule to take off a game that had been played 2 days in a row. I'm like, I feel like that's fair. Because as the person having to play the game, if there's a game that I'm not too enthusiastic about, like Minecraft, and all of a sudden, like, you know, people don't, like, if people want it played several days in a row, I'm just like, eventually I'm gonna get tired, and I feel like the worst thing that could happen is for me to get sick of a game and still be making episodes of it, and it just coming out bad. I think that's what I'm worried about. I don't want to make bad content, so it's like, I think that's why I was thinking about it, but I was hoping that someone would see light. And you know, maybe it should just be an executive decision, but I want to give everyone as much choice as they can possibly have, but like I said, my biggest fear is just not making... Yes, I mean you, the voter. I was hoping you'd see sense. I just don't want to make bad content. I was actually sorely tempted to vote on the on the poll today. Be like, oh look, 2-1, I win. And I'm like, no, that's not fair. What is that? Oh my gosh, it's like a little wolf pup. Oh, it's so cute. I don't know what, like, I'm the type of person who I can't do any, I can't be mean. I really can't. And then, I read somewhere, they're like, the true, what is it? The true test of humanity is a shopping cart. Because there's no moral obligation to return a shopping cart. So if you do it, that's like, you know, you're doing what you feel is right, even though nobody requires it, and you're not going to get in trouble for it. So it's like, I return the shopping carts always. And what lies? What lies are you talking about? I can't be mean. I don't have a mean bone in my body. Now, if somebody's mean to me first, then oh heck yes, I'm spiteful. But I'm not the person to go first. Normally I'm pretty even keel. Yeah, I'm like, who just leaves? Okay, you only vote on Minecraft, and it's just annoying. I don't have to like what you vote for, obviously, and it's not spiteful. Me putting up the rule is for everyone's benefit, because if I start to get tired of playing certain games again, then I'm going to end up hitting a point where I did a couple months ago and just stop streaming altogether. Because that happened. Because I just got very tired of doing the same thing over and over again, and I stopped streaming. And then I got depressed. And it wasn't fun. And then my poor husband had to deal with me being depressed all the time. So I think it's fair. And besides, all I did was scowl at you. I did not actually do anything. Gosh dang it, that's not how that was supposed to go. That's because you couldn't vote for Minecraft when you... The only reason you voted on it is because... The only reason you voted on other things was because you couldn't vote for Minecraft because they took it off. And I also feel that it was fair that I took it off for the time being because I wanted to get through all the games that we just had. No, your reasoning is not sound. And like the fact that you did vote on it, yeah, it's fine. It's fine that you voted on it. Can I be salty? I can be salty all I want. I can be a salt mine if I want. Staxel is actually really fun. There are 2 games that I have save files of, like personal save files on. And that's Staxel. Every time I think about the fact that I'm like, no, this is a democracy, you can't hijack the vote, I always think of Star Wars when Senator Palpatine's just like, I am the Senate. I'm like, that's exactly what I think of. I'm like, I could totally do whatever I want. I'm like, I could. I really could, but no, I am trying to uphold my democracy here. I'm like, I'm not about to become totalitarian yet. Not saying it won't happen, but I'm just saying not right now. I kind of don't like that one. Give me that. Give me that. And then I'll replace a daisy over here. I love these ones. These ones are my absolute favorite. The Lily of the Valley. They kind of look like snowdrops, but they're not. I was thinking of doing Fridays as like do almost like the Wheel of Fortune, but you can make things and you can put them on a wheel and just like randomly spin. I feel pretty decent about all the games that I chose because it was hard to think of which games I wanted and which ones I wanted to make series because oh gosh. Like The Outer Worlds. It was one of my first, and, you know, we had a long-running series, I think it was 24 episodes, but then after I got going, like, nobody wanted to see it, so I've never finished it. We just have, like, we came to an abrupt stop and it never finished. So I'm like, I don't know, do I need to go back and finish it? Like, I kind of want to finish it just so I can say, like, yes, I completed it. But if nobody wants to watch it, I'm like, what's the point? So, I don't know. Maybe eventually I'll just, like, record an episode or something and just be like, hey, look, I finished it! And just kind of, like, put it up, but who knows? Because, I mean, I enjoyed it. It was kind of difficult for me at times to kind of get into playing it because nobody else was really into it. Prognostic is so good. Although the thing is, I did look it up and I think it's only 11 chapters or like days. So, oh gosh, did we finish? We either finished on day 7 or day 8. So we're like almost already finished with the game. As it stands right now, it is an early release and they are planning on doing more. It's like a to be continued. So there will be more, I promise. But for now, I'm like, it's almost bittersweet because I don't really want to like finish it yet because I'm like, I'm having such a good time. So I don't know what to do with that, but I am looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with it. Because the game is brilliant as it stands. Oh, yeah. I was like, why didn't I put my clock up? Because I need a frame. Blech. Yeah, Prognostic is definitely... It deserves every bit of hype that it gets. Like, it's such a well-made game. Okay. No Place Like Home is one of the ones that I have my own save file on, and I have binged that game. Like, I have put so many hours into it already. I am, like, addicted to that game. It's so much fun. Honestly, like, if I didn't love Stardew Valley as much as I do, No Place Like Home would take the cake. I think I've already put, like, 10 or 11 hours into it. And that's just in like the week that I've been playing it. I am planning on trying Subnautica again now that I kind of know at least a little bit of what I'm doing. But man, oh man, did that not just absolutely like hurt the first time I played it. I'm like, they threw you in. I don't like the setup of that game, how they throw you in. You have absolutely no idea what's going on, and they're like, "Okay, survive." And it's not even like, "Okay, like now you get to learn what to do and, you know, kind of swim around, take your time." They're like, "By the way, the boats or the our ship's exploding, and if you don't like get out now, it's gonna turn toxic." I'm like, "Who does that?" Oh, then again, Astroneer. Like, I'm just a little fat astronaut in space, and do I have any idea what I'm doing? No, but I'm an astronaut. Apparently, I was trained for this. There was no training. I think Subnautica would be much better if, like, now that I've done research, because when you first go in, you don't know what any of the materials are that you need. Like, you know, the cave sulfur. I'm like, I don't even know how to get that. They don't tell you how to get any of it. They're like, I think I got one notification saying that the caves had sulfur in them, but they never told me how to get it. So the whole time I was just floundering around looking for sulfur. And then, like, making bleach to make purified water was also a pain. I'm like, okay, so I'm dying of dehydration, but I can't go out and get what I need because I don't know where to get it. I feel like they really pushed it too hard with the survival part, because I'm like, if I was aboard this ship in this situation, I would have had training on how to survive in said situation. But no, like, you just throw me in here and expect me to know what to do. I felt like that was a little unfair of the game. And who knows? Other people might absolutely adore that, but not me. I was a bit salty about that. I'm like, how am I supposed to know what to do? And like, the first thing they do, your escape pod's on fire, and you have to figure out how to grab the fire extinguisher and use it. I'm like, that's not fair. I'm like, that's literally trial by fire, and I don't approve. I am Rose, and I do not approve this message. I have absolutely no idea what even to do right now, because, like, I want to get animals, but I don't know if I want to have animals in pens first, or if I actually want to start, like, building a barn, and then it's like, how does one build barn? But yeah, some of the games I definitely like better than others. My time at Portia is probably my least favorite farming sim that I've played. Like, I was not a fan of the characters. Like, Higgins absolutely annoyed the crap out of me. Who was it? Arlo? I think it was Arlo. Arlo was Mr. Pretentious. Didn't much care for him. Um, yeah, Sonia, the Valley Girl. It's not that I disliked it that much, but I have, out of all the farming sims that I have, Antoine was hilarious. Just hilariously bad. I'm like, why? Why would you do that to Antoine? Like, he's so over the top that I'm like, whoa. It's a little jarring. And it's not that it's a bad game, it's just I have better ones. And, you know, not everyone has 7 different farming sims. I just happen to have a lot of them. So, yes, I'm going to be judging it a little more harshly just because I have a bunch of farming sims. Like, if it was the only farming sim I had, like, yeah, I would probably be voting it much more highly. But against the backdrop of Stardew Valley and No Place Like Home, it's not as good. It does. Like, I can see that. Although then again, I've never played Animal Crossing. But it's like, certain games I'm just not going to generally be a fan of. And I think, like, No Place Like Home, I feel like the only thing that would make it better is if there was a marriage mechanic. Because I think that's part of what I love about Stardew is, like, you can have a family and, you can kind of establish sort of a legacy of sorts. Like, oh, I have children, I have a husband, like, or a wife, this is my family, my farm, my home. I have built all of this. So I kind of like that aspect a little bit more. And I know that My Time at Portia has it. So I'm probably going to end up liking My Time at Portia a little bit more when I get into the relationships and stuff like that. But for now, I'm just annoyed. I'm just annoyed by all the townspeople. And like trying not to swear at Higgins was actually very difficult. Like, stupid Higgins! He really bugged me. I'm like, I'm not 10 minutes into the game and I already have a nemesis. What is this? But like I said, it's not a bad game. It's just compared to my other farming sims, I didn't enjoy it as much. Which I feel like when it comes to critiquing games, that is a fair and valid statement. To say that something's not bad, it's just not, something that you overly enjoy. And I think, like, when you start critiquing games, especially, like, oh my gosh, the people who love Minecraft, if you say anything negative about Minecraft, heaven help you, because you have committed a mortal sin. But, I mean, I feel like it's fair, and I feel like it's valid to say that a game isn't bad, it's just definitely not for you. Okay, Stardew does hit differently. I think that for all of my days, I will absolutely love and enjoy and respect Stardew because it does have a certain depth to it. I think I'm trying to think of a game that I would just like stand no matter what. Um, People who say they don't like Stardew, like I try to, I'm very curious as to why. I'm like, okay, why don't you like it? Like it's a fantastic game. Because me personally, I can't fathom anybody not liking it. But if people bring up valid concerns and things that they do and don't like, I'm like, oh, I see your point. I will agree to disagree because yeah, no one's ever going to convince me not to love Stardew. Like, good luck trying, but you're never gonna win. There's just a giant hole there, and I feel like that's hazardous to my health. You know what? We're gonna patch that up before I fall into it. Because that's what Rose does. Ow, no, no! What? Oh gosh, really? Why is it always you? Yeah, I'm in the camp of simulation games. Okay, my game's like glitching out. But I like simulation games. I like The Sims, I like Stardew. I like kind of life RPG sort of games because, I don't like being forced into missions and whatnot. Like, I'm trying to think of a game that I've played, but I'm very picky. I only play games that I will like. Um, a game like Resident Evil, where you have an end game, you have a goal, you have to complete said goal, and you really don't do much other than that. That's not my cup of tea. Occasionally, I like watching people play games like that, but for me, it's never going to be the sort of game that I'm going to go out and play. Dante's Inferno, stuff like that. Where it's not an open world sort of exploration. Like, there's a timeline, you do things according to said plan, and I'm just like, eh. I like games that I can customize a character, that I can choose what to do, what not to do. Skyrim. So, like, I am a huge fan of Skyrim. When I first got my PlayStation, I got my PlayStation when I was 20 years old. My parents, well, my dad and my stepmom bought it for me for Christmas, and I had never done console gaming before. Like, I'd never done gaming before, really, besides The Sims. And I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know which games to play. I don't know what's good, what's bad. And my younger stepsister was like, oh, hey, like, here. So she gave me Skyrim for Christmas. I just about lost my mind because I played Skyrim for the first year that I had my PlayStation. And that's all I played. Was just Skyrim, like day in and day out. What am I working on? What am I doing? I don't know where I'm going. But yeah, that's what I did. I played Skyrim, like, exclusively. And I loved it. Loved every minute of it. I thought it was fantastic. And then after Skyrim, I played Fallout 4. And yes, there are missions, there are goals that you have to do, have to complete, but you can choose them on your terms. You can choose what you want to do, how you want to do it. Like, my playstyle is definitely not the same as everyone else's. That's kind of what my stepsister said. She's like, Skyrim is a very good starting place because you get so much. You do have action and adventure, but you also have open world exploration, and there's not really like puzzles or anything, but you have such a wide variety of things that you can kind of do. And it's just so much fun. And honestly, I played the crap out of that game. When I say I played every day, like, I played every day. And I'm really surprised that my parents weren't more concerned. But, and I had such a good time. But just because I like Skyrim doesn't mean I'm going to like Dragon Age. I've seen it, I've thought about it, couldn't really get myself into it. I'm like kind of debating. I'm like, do I grab sand? I don't think I need any more glass. I think definitely Stardew's a game for anyone. Like, children, adults, like anyone. I feel like anyone could could have a good time with it. It really is just kind of an everyone sort of game. And it's simple and sweet and fun, and you can do mining, you can do farming. There really is a lot to do in that game. Which, I mean, is so much fun because no one's farm is ever the same. Everyone has a different style, a different, game plan. Because, I have a friend who is, a lot of fishing. And my first playthrough was crops. Crops. That's all I did. And, I had a lot. I had something like 300 and something crops. So, yeah, that's how I did it. But they were both entirely valid, and, ow, it never... you know, that's just another way to have fun with the game. You know, some people prefer to... The heck? Some people like animals. Some people hate the animals. Me, I definitely fall on the side of I like the animals because they're soft and cuddly. But, you know, to each their own. You can get married, you can not get married, you can have a roommate. You know, there's so many different things to do. Which definitely goes towards, like, Stardew's a great game. It's just got all the points in its direction. I think that holds true to a point, unless you're like me and you're trying to get the perfection rating. Because once the perfection rating came out, all of a sudden I had to do everything. I had to finish. I had to get 100%. And I mean, technically that's where it ends, is once you get 100%, like, there's really no more, like, end goal. But, I mean, I still have that farm, and I still go back to that farm, and I still change things, still upgrade things. So there really isn't, like, a whole complete, like, this is the end. I think that's what I didn't like about the Outer Worlds. And what I don't like about a lot of games is once you're done, like, once you've done the end mission, you know, that's it. Like, you can't play the game anymore. The game kind of, like, locks you out, and it's like, oh, you're done. Yeah, I mean, if perfection's not your thing, and you just kind of want to, like, chill and hang out and build a farm, totally viable. You can do it. The game's not going to be like, hey, by the way, like, you really should probably start working on this. It's like, oh, cool, you're building your, like, 10th chicken coop? Awesome. Like, you can do whatever the heck you want. And the game, like, isn't going to try to push you into anything. My one problem with Fallout 4 is Preston's the one pressuring me to do everything. If you read my fanfic about Fallout 4, I have beef with Preston. I feel bad because there are people who, like, completely stand Preston. I'm like, nope! Like, I can't stand the man. Yes. Oh, so, fun fact, I'm also a writer. I think it probably got, like, buried in my AO3 stuff, or my Discord stuff. But yeah, I do have a link to my AO3 account where I actually have several works published because I can't decide on... Ah! Gosh dang it! Yeah, I can't decide on one hobby, so I must do them all. I'm a writer, I'm a reader, I'm a crocheter. I've made, like, so many different things. Yeah, I can't... I have too many hobbies, and sometimes it drives me crazy, because it's like, I want to crochet, but I also want to read a book, but I really want to play video games, and I can't do it all at the same time, because I don't have enough hands. Like, oh my gosh, I swear, if I could just, like, be an octopus or something. Well, then again, I would actually have to have, like, the mental capacity to do that, because to focus on that many tasks at one time, that would be a little bit much for my brain. The most I can do is read, listen to music, and watch TV at the same time. That's about it for me. After that, I start losing it, and I get a little fuzzy on some of the things. But yeah, it's... that story's interesting, and it's funny because my friend JD has actually read my chapters, and from her description of it, it's like watching a playthrough, because I go into more detail about the game, and it is lore friendly, so there are things that I would like extensively look up. I'm like, okay, could I actually even make this work? Like, is this feasible in the world of Fallout? So yeah, there's a lot of things that, if somebody's like, well, that's not in the game, I'm like, but you technically could make it work. I'm like, believe me, I've looked it up. Like, me desperately trying to figure out how to make sugar in the world of Fallout, I'm like, because there's not a thing as sugar. I'm like, corn syrup. You could actually learn how to process corn into, you could learn how to process corn into corn syrup, and so you would actually get something sweet. Like, it's possible. It's definitely a possibility. Yeah, I played... Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And it's funny because while I was writing, if I came across, like, a scene or something, like, if I forgot what the building looked like, I would actually go into the game to that building and, like, look around. I'm like, okay, write everything down. This thing's over here. This marker's over here. Like, this is how you would describe it. So, yeah, I definitely went a little, probably too in-depth with my research. Like, some people reading it would probably be like, there's small details that people wouldn't care about, but I'm like, no, like, I have to know. I'm like, I have to know if this is right or if this is wrong. Where is my way out? Oh gosh, I've done it again. I've put myself in a hole that I can't get out of. Uh-huh, there it is. Come on. Let me out. Yes, that way is up. What? There are multiple ways up here? Oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh. Okay, come on. But yeah, it's an interesting sort of fic, but I'm enjoying it. And it just gets hard because I want to be writing, but at the same time, like, I want to play video games. Because it's nice playing a story that I didn't have to make. So it's like, I just get stuck between all my hobbies. Ooh, a village. Ow. Oh gosh, yeah, they are exploding. But yeah, and then I've done some, like... I'm trying to think of all the stories I've published. I've done some fast writing that was like... It was like a 1-week challenge. It's really hard to pick one hobby to, like, focus on. And most of the time, like, crocheting I'll do while I'm watching TV or something. Like, if my husband and I are watching TV together, normally I'm crocheting something because, like... It's multitasking. That and my brain function, it goes too much. Like, I just start thinking in tangents. Ow. And, like, if I'm only focused on something that doesn't take up too much of my thought process, I'll start randomly thinking on tangents and stuff, and it'll be like, oh, hey, like, think about all these plot lines, and then things get mixed up in my head, and then it just gets confusing. You just donned a hat. Have I witnessed the birth of a farmer? I think I did. I think I just witnessed the birth of a farmer. I don't know why it made me laugh. Do do do. Honestly, I get lost in my head way too often and way too easily. Because if I'm just sitting here, like, if I was sitting here crocheting, I don't have anything to watch, anything to focus. Ow. Oh, gosh. At least he didn't blow up oh gosh, the cat's alive. At least he didn't blow up the house. But if I don't have anything to watch or to listen to or do multiple things at the same time, I'm just gonna hide out in here. Like, my brain just starts thinking of book plot lines or, what should I do in this game? How do I plot this out? Like, it just thinks too much. So, I need a lot of different things going at the same time. I once had somebody, because I was in a writing group for a long time, and they'd be like, how do you come up with plot lines so fast? I'm like, I'll just be sitting there and I'll hear a word or hear a phrase or see a picture, and then all of a sudden my brain's just like, ooh, I wonder where that could go. And then all of a sudden, before I know, I had this whole like story that I'm invested in. And I'll write things down, like I call them spots because it's like a spot in a book. So, oh, there's an Enderman outside somewhere. But I have spots and I'll write them down, and it's like, I don't know where this is going to go, but it's a good bit of dialogue. So then I'll just be staring at it like, where can I stick this? I'm like, would this go over here in this book? What genre is this more like? You know, put this over here. And then I've also done poetry. I've written quite a lot of poetry. So it's like, I write poetry, I write fiction, like, I write science fiction, high fantasy, contemporary, there's a murder mystery in there somewhere. Like, I have so many different things in my head. Which I feel like also reflects in, like, my game choices, because I didn't limit myself to one specific genre of game. I was like, I don't know, like, I picked everything. It's like when you ask somebody, oh, do you want this or this? Yes. I am the epitome of that question. Do you want A or B? Yes. Which one? Yes. All of it. I want all of it. But then it gets me in trouble because then I have a lot of half-finished things. Oh, no, Berry Bush Forest. Oh, gosh. Death. There's death on the horizon. Woo! Oh, no. Oh, boy! I just completely almost fell into a pit. Oh, if that's not the most me thing there is. Okay. I do intend to safely make my way up. Oh. See, look, this is my luck. I was running, I wasn't paying attention, and I found a hole that I completely almost died in. And people wonder why I don't do hiking or anything, because I'm like, in real life, I would probably also find a pit. Just be like, oh, look, what's in there? Just goofy scream all the way down into a giant pit. I don't know how I keep doing it. And then when they did the cliffs, what is it called? Cliffs and Caverns or something like that? I'm like, that was the worst possible update for me. Because it literally just made the valleys and peaks bigger. Like, as if you didn't already have problems falling. Guess what? We made it worse. I'm like, why would you hurt me this way? Why would I hurt me this way? Okay, get out before the spider gets me. For a second I thought that was my house, but no, it is not. What's that? Is it lava? 10 out of 10, it's probably lava. It's lava! Although there's also an acacia tree? When did I get into this biome? So many things, so many questions, all the questions. Seriously, it's gonna be like a children's story that I write. Rose and the Big Pit. A Minecraft story of how she died. Okay, so there's pumpkins. There's a random floating pumpkin. I guess I'm gonna take that. When am I going to ever get my own bees? Because I love bees. I almost want some of this acacia wood, but I don't want to have to deal with the skeletons to get it. Whoop. And I was actually thinking, oh no, come on. Let me out. I was thinking the other day, like, how I started the whole YouTube Twitch adventure, and, it's because when you're kind of at the bottom of the totem pole, like, I only have, I think, 14 subscribers on YouTube. So it's like, is my channel big? No. But when I think of, like, YouTubers and stuff, I'm like, technically I am a YouTuber. I'm just a small-time YouTuber. But it feels weird to say, like, fellow YouTubers when talking about, like, Jacksepticeye. I'm like, I'm stuck in this weird in-between phase. Like, yes, I put things on YouTube. Am I very good at it? No. Not by any means. Because actually I just put my live streams. Just slap them up right on YouTube. I think though, because I don't have the time or the patience to edit, it's like, it'll do for now. Maybe someday if it takes off more I'll find an editor, but for now, it's like nobody's really watching them, so That, and I'm actually surprised that I've been doing longer streams. Aww. Thank you. Although I do not have, like, 1/8 the talent of Jack. And I was talking to my husband the other day, because he watches a lot of YouTube. And he's like, I think the reason they're so popular is because they kind of overact things. And some of their reactions might be genuine, but they are better at emoting, and I am horrible at, like, loudly expressing emotion. So I'm like, yeah, that's probably where, like, I mean, also, since I don't really have much of a platform, it's like, yeah, I'm definitely not as popular, probably never going to get as popular, but yeah, I think that's one of the key elements, is to be able to emote well, and I'm like, I don't really do that very well. I'm like, that's probably one of my downfalls. I feel like lately, especially, like, they've just been, yeah, like, it's been screaming, and I'm like, the older I get, the more I'm like, okay, can you not scream in my face, please? Like, I just want to watch a calming video, and I'm like, you're being a little bit much. So, yeah, I can see that. I can see being a little bit tired of that. But I don't know, when you compare, like, exactly how many viewers and stuff they have, it just, it kind of makes you feel a little insignificant, because they have, like, oh my gosh, Jack's got millions and millions, and it's just like, it's like I'm never gonna get that far, but, he's a vastly different person than I am. You know? It's interesting. And then I do feel kind of bad. Okay, so yeah, that is Jean-Luc Picard. I feel bad for not being as, able to emote. Yeah, if me and my 30 loyal fans, I keep, like, and it's hard to not look at the milestones, because at some point, like, they show you, oh, you have this many, you're this far away from this goal. So I see that and I'm like, oh, like, I want to reach affiliate. But, to reach affiliate, you need 50. And I'm like, if I could just get a couple more on this episode, or maybe if I streamed this game I could get a few more. And you just keep thinking that. Like, just, you want to get to the next level, to the next goal. You want to be, you want to be good enough to be the next, to hit the next stage. But, it's not in the cards for everyone, and it's like, oh, dang, like, it's gonna take time. And sometimes you get a little impatient. I get impatient. But, it's like all in good time because I've only been at this a year. So in a year, I've gotten, 30 something. So who knows? Maybe next year it'll be another 30 or another 40 or another 50. It just happens. It happens when it happens. I just get tired of waiting. Okay, I think I'm gonna go harvest some animals and bring them home. I think the hustle's another part because I do stream 5 days a week. And when I first started, it was maybe once or twice a week, and then it was scheduled 3 times a week, and then it was open schedule, 5 times a week. And so now it's like, okay, I have a huge base of games now. I forgot to grab weed because I have the dumb, but there's so many different things that I've done and can do, and it's like, okay, like you're just kind of waiting. You're like, okay, is today going to be the day that more people see it? And it's just hard sometimes. Worth it because, like I said, I'm having a really fun time doing all this, but it's hard when you see other people succeeding, but then you realize, oh, it took them time. It didn't happen overnight for them. So, because Jack's been at it for what, 9 years? Something like that? It's like, who knows? You never know who's going to be the next Jacksepticeye or Markiplier or PewDiePie. I don't like PewDiePie, so that's why I was like, I don't really want to mention him, but it's everyone's different. Hello, pup. Pigs are not wheat. I think it's only sheep and cows. But they're little piggy. Why are the heads so big? That's like slightly concerning. I don't know why. I think it's because out of all like the screaming sort of over the top people, he's kind of like the worst. That, and I don't appreciate his kind of dry sense of humor. Like, it's almost like locker room humor, and I'm just not a fan. Which, most people would think I'm boring. Like, my sense of humor is a little more, witty and sarcastic. So I'm like, yeah, I might not be the person for everyone, but I don't enjoy his type of humor. Yeah, there's definitely times that I look, I'm like, I am definitely not who this channel was intended for. Like, some of the stuff my husband likes. He's like, you gotta watch this! And he's like, he gets mad when I don't laugh. I'm like, it wasn't funny to me. Like, I'm sorry, I'm so boring, but it just wasn't funny. And then things that I think are funny, he's just like, really, you thought that was funny? Because for some, my sense of humor is also trash. Because I love corny dad jokes. I don't know why they get me every time. Like, it's so stupid. Like, why am I laughing? But I also like kind of dark humor. Little bit on the macabre side, but I like everything. Most everything. Yeah, I'm like, how is this supposed to be funny? And then, oh, what was it? So one of my favorite examples of a dad joke that I just laughed at so hard. So we were at Hobby Lobby, and it was my brother-in-law, my sister, me, and my husband. And we had seen... There was this squirrel. No, pig. Oh. Why? He, like, booked it. He hot-footed it. Dang it. I have a carrot. Can I lure him back in? Stinking pig. Stupid. He took his chance. He shot a shot and he won. Where'd you go? Gosh dang! He's running for the hills! Get over here. Yeah. Yeah, you. He's like, oh. He's like, I can't help myself. On Bug's Life. No, step away from the light. I can't help myself. It's so beautiful. And he, oh no. Well, it kind of worked. No! No, dang it! Oh, stupid pig! And that was my one carrot! Can I push you in? I will push you. No, you... Get in the box! No, not the cow! Not the cow, too! Ha! I have thumbs and that's why you will never win. Ha! Well, I mean, actually, my Minecraft character has nubs, but... he did trick me. He tricked me into giving him the stupid carrot. Okay, back to the dad joke. I got interrupted by the escapee. My husband and I have a rather eclectic taste for things in our house. And at one point, we had bought a squirrel. Like a figurine, a squirrel figurine. And it holds a pine cone in its hands. And it's got a little crown. So that was King Squirrel. And we were looking at Hobby Lobby, and we found another squirrel. But it was a ceramic squirrel. And I want to say it had like a queen's crown on it. And I was like, oh, like, we should get this squirrel. But then I saw the price tag, and I was like, I'm not paying $12 for a... And it was like, I think it was because the quality wasn't like great. I was like, I'm not paying $12 for a squirrel. Like a squirrel figurine. So my brother-in-law, in all seriousness, looks at me, and he's like, $12 for a squirrel? That's nuts! I don't know why it made me laugh so hard. It was so stupid. It was such a corny joke, and I laughed so hard. And I'm like, I feel stupid because I laughed at it. And there's a creeper in my water feature. Why? Why did the creepers... It's having itself a little bath. But yeah, so that joke lives in my head rent-free. And I just remember it every time I see King Squirrel sitting on my shelf. But yeah, just the stupidest joke. $12 for a squirrel? That's nuts! Oh my gosh. So like I said, my sense of humor is trash, because I laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed. Like, wow. Like, I don't know what that says about me, that I found it that hilarious. So, there you go. Something to live in your head rent-free too. I can't be the only one that has it inside their head. And, okay, well, I guess we're out of space, so... you can take it. Actually, I might as well just fill that one completely up and let it process as much as it's going to process. So yeah, these are the types of things that I find funny. Okay, come on. Okay. I'm really hoping to wake up in the morning and turn around and the creeper's not going to be in my water feature, because if he is, I'm going to have to murder him. Okay, it looks like he's gone. I'm gonna go check upstairs. I don't know why I feel the need to shut my door each time. Oh, God. There's a zombie in there! What? At least it's not a creeper. More like one saving grace. Okay, well, I'm trying not to do like super, super long episodes, so I think I'm gonna end that one here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to leave suggestions on what I should do next, because I get kind of lost, I get ADHD when I'm playing, especially when I'm telling stories at the same time. All of a sudden, it's like, oh, and then this, and then this, and then this, and then I don't end up doing anything in the game. But let's see, what is tomorrow? Tomorrow is the 23rd. Okay, so I will be back tomorrow with another episode of my Discord members' choice. I think pretty much everyone who is watching the stream is a subscribe. If you are not, if you would like to know about that, if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Twitch, and join my Discord server, you get access to customization options and special voting opportunities, and you get to see me and Disnerd get into it because she likes me to play Minecraft a lot. But all of that aside, once again, I just hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll be back tomorrow. And yes, everyone vote! It's more interesting when there's a lot of votes. Because coin tosses only get me so far. And I'm like, I want more people to vote. Next time I'm gonna like at everyone and have specific people be like, hey, you wanna be a tiebreaker? But let me know what you guys thought, and until tomorrow, I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Bye.